1, 2, 3, wrestling you live by the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a body slam. Choke slam, hit you raw, this is wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title, this is wrestling with Savage. The epitome of grappling, I'm scrapping them toe to toe. We ride or die, my kingdom's with me, legendary up in my road. Tearing limbs up on my pole, the ankle lock grip is accurate. Greek God in the flesh, every move is immaculate.
Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign. Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign.
I be the king of the ring, the mightiest force to be reckoned with. The unstoppable, immovable manager, cause an exodus of other voices making money choices and wins. PG era is dead, the savage era begins. Red and green, 1, 2, 3, wrestling you live by the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a body slam. Choke slam, hit you raw, this is wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title, this is wrestling with Savage. The real boss of all bosses, pile drivers, hip tosses. We holding multiple titles while you keep stacking up losses. Lost the talent that flosses, y'all can't even present a match. I'm in a tour in his army, breaking backs upon the mats.
Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign. Savage Kingdom, march on bones.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wrestling with Savage. We're going to go right into the WWE Weekly Update. A lot going on with the WWE next week. Everything will be on the USA Network. A lot of changes coming on SmackDown. We had United States Champion LA Knight defeating Ludwig Kaiser. Very good match. These two always match up well. And I can see them having more of a clash. Maybe Survivor Series, we see title versus title, LA Knight versus Gunther. I don't think anybody would see it coming. It's probably not going to happen, but it's something that I would certainly talk about in the back at WWE. LA Knight's a big superstar. You want to keep him on the track that he's on, which is gaining momentum, having a great title run with the United States title. But you got to put another title on him. You got to put a bigger title on him. You got to put a meaningful title on him. Nothing's more meaningful than that IC title that Gunther held. So maybe he's going to go after Braun Breaker, but because he's messing with Ludwig, maybe he can jump past the IC title. He can be one of those rare superstars that doesn't need the IC title. A lot of superstars catapulted to the world title without ever touching the IC title. So we'll see if that happens for him. Great match, though, on SmackDown. LA Knight keeping up the momentum. Los Garza defeated Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. It's great to see Baron Corbin back on SmackDown, but he's just a punching bag. He's coming in, taking loss after loss. Apollo Crews doing the same thing. But I guess it is what it is. These are the new guys. These are the new blood. They are the reason why people are tuning in to see their athletic ability. Not to say that Apollo Crews still can't go or Baron Corbin, but, these are the new guys that are running SmackDown. So, I mean, that's why Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews probably came back to SmackDown to put over guys like this. But it's a shame, especially for Baron Corbin. I really hope we can see some kind of a resurgence in his singles career down the line. I know the waiting list to get world title shots is very short and hard to get on right now. But we'll see what they have planned. Maybe Santos Escobar can be a world heavyweight champion one day. He certainly has a great faction behind him. Big things in his future, I believe. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens would have a little promo. This would be their last chance to hype up Bash in Berlin. And Cody Rhodes would basically just, tell him, I trust you. Let's go out there. Let's have a great match. Let's have a lot of fun. Carmelo Hayes this week was able to pick up the win against Andrade. Their saga continues. I do not think this will be the end of it. Another great match. And I've said it before, these guys can go any night of the week. Any arena in the world would be happy and satisfied to see a match from these two. If you missed it, you might want to go back and watch it. More than likely, for me, match of the night. Carmelo Hayes looked really good against Andrade, and Andrade always looks good. And WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax defeated Michin in a street fight. And I'm saying it out here right now. For the love of God, all right? For the love of God, can we please stop calling these things street fights? What is the purpose of calling it a street fight when it's not in the street? All right. I don't see a street. I don't see a stop sign. Why are we calling it a street fight if we're not in the street? Nonetheless, Nia Jax looked good. This was your main event for SmackDown. Mia, she held her own. I mean, listen, they gave her some good TV time and she tried her hardest. She really did. She even put Nia Jax through a table. But in the end, the distraction and the help from Tiff, Princess Tiffany, by the way, she came on down and caught Mia with that title. Bayley came out to help out a little bit. But in the end, once all that was done and we're back to the match, which is a street fight that's not in the street, it's in the ring again. Nia Jax was able to do the Samoan drop, put her through the table, and then just beat on her relentlessly and would pick up the win. Following day, we have Bash at Berlin taking place. Cody Rhodes would open the show and defeat Kevin Owens in the opening match of the show. Great match. I was hoping Kevin Owens would turn heel. Again, tonight, this is just for me to break down the week of WWE as quickly as possible for people that missed out on it. That's what this show's about. I don't want to get too deep into the analytical opinions of the match and how good it was or bad it was or whatever the case may be. I want to do that on Thursdays on the Savage Storm Super Wrestling Show, which we'll talk a little bit about later tonight. Moving on in Bash in Berlin, we have new tag team champions. All right. Cora Jade, Bianca Belair got their titles back in Germany. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good exchange. You're trying to balance out the women's division. You have to have credible threats to whoever the champions are. And right now we got some credible threats, and they're both credible threats to each other at any given moment. We'll see if they can continue to add great women's tag teams to the mix, because they certainly need more of them. It's insane to me because the WWE probably has the best female roster in the world. You would think that it would be very easy for them to put together more women's tag teams, not just the same old stuff that we're going to see on Raw, and we'll talk about that a little bit in Raw. But it's great to see Bianca Belair. It's great to see Cora Jade holding up those titles. They got them back. Now they're two-time champions. Double the swag. And we move on to the match of the night at Bash in Berlin between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. CM Punk able to get some revenge. He got the win. Very convincing win. Decisive win. I mean, he beat the holy hell out of Drew McIntyre. These guys went to war. If you missed Bash in Berlin, go back and watch CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Absolutely the match of the night. Very good match. CM Punk in the best shape of his life. Drew McIntyre in the best shape of his life. And it wasn't just a good match. It was a fun, entertaining, exciting, on the edge of your seat kind of match. And I can watch these guys wrestle every single month for the rest of the year. I would be okay with that. Moving on to Bash in Berlin again, we had the intergender tag team match here between Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom, and they were taking on Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, and I called it. We all knew it. Everybody that watches, it's sad how predictable it's become, but we all knew that Mommy and Damian Priest would have to pick up the win here. They would have to, and they did in convincing fashion. Looking good doing it, looking strong. One-on-one, Dom is no threat to Damian Priest, and one-on-one Liv is no threat to Rhea Ripley. So tag team, come on. I mean, she's basically killing Dom over here. Look at that. Look, I'm going to put that on the big screen. That might be the picture of the night from Bash in Berlin. Really good job from Rhea Ripley, convincing everyone in the world that she is the baddest woman on the planet, and she never lost that title, and she'll get it back. But now we move on to the main event. Of course, we're in Germany. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line, and we're not talking about Cody Rhodes. We already defended his title at the beginning of the night. No, he's not main eventing, Cody. It's going to be Gunther is in the main event against Randy Orton, possibly the greatest wrestler of all time, arguably the greatest wrestler of all time, possibly the best career track record we've ever seen as far as matches and mistakes. Very rare. Very rare. It's harder to find a Randy Orton mistake than it is to become a rocket scientist. All right, that's how good Randy Orton is. But Gunther was able to best Randy Orton this time legitimately. He got the win over him in Germany. Gunther's a legend. Randy Orton's a legend killer. and Gunther just killed Randy Orton. So what does that make Gunther? He's on his way to being one of the most dominant champions of all time, and his reign just started. So stay tuned. Gunther, very impressive in the WWE thus far. My God, ever since he walked in the doors at NXT, he's been killing it. Since NXT UK, and if you go watch his independent matches like I have over the last 2 years, the guy's been having matches like this, bangers, for a decade. So you might want to check him out. Great match, great show, fun show. If you missed Bash of Berlin, go back and watch it. Best match of the night was definitely CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Moving on to Monday Night Raw, Liv Morgan damaged Rhea Ripley's knee. What? Rhea hurt again to kick off Raw? This kind of was upsetting. I'm not going to lie to you. This was upsetting. And you might be thinking I'm skipping past No Mercy. I am not. We are going to get to No Mercy. We're just going to save our NXT coverage for when we get through Monday Night Raw. You are watching the WWE Weekly Update, which I do every single Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m., where I try to bring you all the news from WWE for the entire week, including some breaking news. I do the same thing for AEW tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. And then on Thursday nights, the Savage Storm Super Wrestling Show, episode number 12, coming up with me and DJ Storms, where we really get into professional wrestling and we break it down. But let's get back to Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley would kick off Monday Night Raw with Liv Morgan, and we get a little preview of what's to come. Obviously, these guys are not going to stop feuding. This is going to be a long-lasting feud. I'm wondering how long it's going to last. Is it going to go all the way up to WrestleMania? What's going on, Alec? We're doing good. Just talking about Monday Night Raw. I'm wondering how long this storyline is going to last. I'm going to say it at least minimum, I think, up to the Royal Rumble. Because when we get to the Rumble, it's time to shake things up, get new storylines going, get new ideas popping, get new people on TV, and get new main event storylines going on. We move on to American Made defeating Alpha Academy. Gable doing a great job bringing his crew down. Very impressed with everyone. Maxine Dupree and everybody. The Creed brothers are killing it. Ivy Nile is killing it. I love this storyline, and I love how they're working it in together and putting everybody over, including the Wyatt Six, all at the same time. Even though they took the loss, Maxine Dupree has never looked better as a competitor in the ring. She's getting it. She's working with the crowd. She's vibing, hitting good moves. Otis looks phenomenal. Otis looks like he's ready to win the Royal Rumble. I mean, good God, they have him booked very strong, very heavy. Him and Tozawa are working very well together. The Creed brothers are the Creed brothers. We know what they are. Ivy Nile is getting even better every single week. She was able to put Maxine Dupree to sleep with that dragon sleeper submission. Very impressive and great stable, great presence, great posture. Gable is everything that a leader is. And he would call out the Wyatt Six here after that match, saying that next week he wanted a 4-on-4 match. Uncle Howdy would respond. And he doesn't just want a match. He wants a street fight. And like I was saying on SmackDown, can we do the street fights in the street? Maybe. Can we get a street fight in the street? That would be 6. Wyatt Six, American Made, real street fight in the streets of whatever town they're in, man. I'd like to see it. Nice shot here of Uncle Howdy showing no fear. He doesn't care that there's 4 people in the ring. He's going to still step up and do his thing. And I like how he's not wrestling tonight. There's not too much theatrics. We're just getting right into the storytelling and the Raw moving forward. Let's talk about next week. You want that 4-on-4 match? You got it with the Wyatt Six. Looking forward to that one. We move on to Shayna Baszler defeating Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega would come out. She looked very good. This new faction here, picking up a much-needed win because they've been losing and getting beat up as well all over the place. Zelina Vega getting beat up as well here tonight on Monday Night Raw, and she looked to be very emotional. I know there was a fan in attendance that, I gave her a sign, and she showed the sign on Raw. She looked very emotional. Not exactly sure what the context is there. If anybody knows a little more detail, please update the Savage Kingdom in the chat. I'd love to know more. But Zelina Vega Didn't have an opportunity to really look too good because Shayna Baszler just whooped that ass. The whole team got in there and started whooping on that ass, and they were going off. And they did their thing. They had their chance to shine, and they took advantage of it right away. They did not hold back. They got on the mic, they cut a promo, and then we get to the best spot of the night, which was Drew McIntyre viciously attacking CM Punk. CM Punk actually came out to the ring, and he was calling out Gunther. My man CM Punk got the win over Drew. Doesn't waste any time. Right away, I deserve a World Heavyweight Championship. I come back, I'm 1-1 on WWE. I lost at SummerSlam, but I won at Bash at Berlin, so now I'm automatically entitled to a world championship match, according to Punk. I want to know if you guys agree with that. Maybe Drew is a top competitor. He was a former number one contender. Punk did beat him clean, convincingly. But does he deserve a number one shot? Does he deserve a world heavyweight title shot already? Drew McIntyre didn't think so because Punk wasn't running his mouth for that long. Because before you know it, Drew McIntyre was out there putting boots to faces, putting this man in a ambulance. All right. He messed him up. He ripped off that bracelet after chucking him in that ring, and he made him eat it. He broke it and made him eat it. This was vicious. This was great. Watching this just, resets the entire feud because you're taking it to a new level. You're taking it to another place, and it makes it refreshing. It makes it fun to watch all over again. So like I said, I'm looking forward to this. I can watch these guys wrestle every month all the way up until the Royal Rumble. Hell, man, they should wrestle all the way up to the Royal Rumble. They should be the reason why they both get eliminated, and then they have to fight at WrestleMania to end it once and for all. I'm okay with it. Let these guys cook. Over the next year, we'll get some really good TV, and they'll both be even bigger stars for it. I expect it. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. A lot of people are saying Punk's going to fight Cody at Mania. Not happening. We got Roman in the mix. We got Jacob Fatu in the mix. There's a lot going on. Stop it. Stop The Rock. That's Cody's fighting one of those three. All right. That's it. Dragunov defeated Dragon Lee versus Dirty Dom. A triple threat match here, and Dragunov has advanced in the IC tournament title. To me, he's the obvious winner because we all want to see him versus Braun Breaker again and again and again. But I don't think that's what's going to happen, unfortunately. I think as good as Dragunov is and as ready as he is, they don't think it's his time just yet because there's somebody else in this IC tournament as well that is probably a heavy favorite. This was a great match. Match of the night, probably only because of Dragunov just doing what he does, working with some great talent, able to put him over and make him look exactly like what he looks like, a wrestling god. The Unholy Union defeated Damage Control in their match to become number one contenders. Kairi Sane took a nasty. I'll put that up on the full screen. I don't think you can see it yet, but Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair were out there. But yeah, Kairi Sane went crashing hard in the table, and it looked like she busted up her whole eyelid. It looked like she was missing her eye at one point, blood all over her face. But thank God she's okay. It was just a lot of blood. And then we get to this mediocre promo by Sami Zayn. And it was a mediocre promo. He comes out, has to use everybody else's name to try to get over, and reminds them that because of what those guys did. The Rock, Triple H, they were all IC champion, and then they became WWF champion, WWE. Sami Zayn says he's going to be one of those guys. Gunther dumps on him hard, says you are not going to be one of those guys. You are not on that list. Sami challenged him to a match. Gunther said, no. Went to walk away. Sami, with his intelligence, decides to call out Gunther and say, why is that? Because I almost beat you? You're scared? Interesting. Let's see if this match is going to get made official. We had Braun Strowman defeating Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser to advance in his match for the IC tournament. So Braun Strowman also advancing in the process. We got a very physical match. That spot where Braun throwing that chair at Ludwig was phenomenal. Good work by all men involved. Braun looking like an actual monster for once, really looking like a monster out here, getting a big win on two guys that are killing it right now on WWE. Damian Priest, Jey Uso, they defeated Finn Balor and JD McDonough. There was also a part of this Raw that I want to get into before I get into this match where Jey Uso and Braun Breaker had a little interaction. I wish I had a photo of it because it was a really good stare down. Braun Breaker reminding Jey Uso that no one from your family ever beat anyone, from my family. And there's no difference with you. You're not going to beat me. You're not going to beat me. Jey cut a good promo. Jey has the crowd, guys. Jey Uso has the crowd. Everybody give me a yeet. Speaking of yeet, let's watch a little preview from one of the matches from a good show that I was watching recently called Blitzed at the Battlefield. Let's watch a little bit of this match. Very good match. And if you want to, you can watch the full match for free on the official Battlefield Pro Wrestling YouTube page. You can find that link at the bottom of my YouTube page where I put all my friends and people that I support. Let's take a little look at this.
Done. I got $20, says Lance, to be in the NBA tomorrow after that goddamn hiccup right there, that hip hop.
Well, I personally seen him hit a slam dunk. Besides what I just saw there, Casey Navarro's going to need some aspirins tonight.
Absolutely, ibuprofen 5,000 and maybe another double dose.
Another one. He's not going to do it again. Is he, Cowboy?
He might break his face right off. Look at this. Watch the whiplash on this man. Look at it.
Oh, crazy, man. I don't even know how Navarro is still going. If you missed it, like I said, you can watch it for free anytime on the BPW YouTube. You should watch it. Great match. But for now, let's get back to Monday Night Raw. We'll talk a little bit more about Blitz and what Savage has been up to in the halftime show. Damian Priest, Jey Uso defeated Finn Balor and JD McDonough. This wasn't for the titles, but maybe it should have been. Damian Priest, Jey Uso looking good. Maybe they're future tag team champions. Who knows? But I know this. The yeet is real. The yeet movement is real. Fans across the country love to yeet. They love them some Jey Uso. And what Rikishi did earlier in the month, later in the month, last month, where he was going off on the dirt sheets, talking about how Jey Uso maybe should go to AEW if WWE is not going to make him a champion. That might have had some significant impact. We could see Jey Uso becoming IC champion. Maybe. I think it would be crazy. But maybe Roman helps him out, recruits him back into his own bloodline. Who knows, man? Anything's possible in today's WWE. Great super kick there by the Yeet Master. Even better reaction from JD McDonough, who looks like he just got destroyed. Of course, Rhea Ripley would have to come out. She'd be playing possum. Maybe her knee's not that hurt because she ended up beating the hell out of Liv Morgan with that crutch that she was using. Jay with the Samoan splash, and it is over. They pick up the win to end Monday Night Raw. Raw was good. Overall, Raw was a fun show. Best part of the night was watching CM Punk, Drew McIntyre reignite that feud. Very good segments, some good matches, good storytelling. Big week next week on USA. It's WWE week, so expect Raw, SmackDown, and NXT to all be fire. Like every single one of it. Like I was saying, Blitz was on recently. You know what else was on recently? Becoming Savage, documentary about wrestling super agent, untold story. Not that untold if you've been watching the podcast, but if you haven't seen it, check it out. October 19th at Elmwood Park. Crowbar. I got a message for you.
Crowbar on October 19th at Battle in the Borough. You get a chance to step in the ring with the biggest star in professional wrestling today, a technical powerhouse filled with suplexes and submissions, and Savage knows what a megastar looks like. Savage understands what is needed to take a star like Spencer Slade to the absolute top and have his face plastered around billboards across the world, because he is a megastar, unlike you, who is a washed-up, has-been WCW legend and guess what? You talk about being timeless, Crowbar, on October 19th in front of your friends and in front of your family. Your time is up, bitch.
Yeah, his time is up. So if you're in the area, anywhere on the East Coast, and you want to make sure you see Crowbar's last match, you come on down October 19th to Battle in the Borough, and you can watch my client Spencer Slade put on a clinic. The match could be over in a minute, maybe less, because honestly, Slade's so powerful. If I go like this, going to hit him with that savage slam, the match will be over. But I like Crowbar, and I like Slade, so I think I want to see him wrestle for more than a minute and a half. Maybe we'll give Crowbar 3-4 minutes before we end his fucking career live in the shittiest part of New Jersey. And you can watch it. All you got to do is come on down, pick up tickets. You can call that phone number right there to buy tickets, or $25 at the door. Slade with Savage versus Crowbar for the Savage Heavyweight Championship. It is on the line. And like I said, Becoming Savage, you can check out that documentary. It's on YouTube right now. Blitz was a sick show. Have a lot of great highlights from Blitz. You saw Casey Navarro. You saw Lance on Hawaii.
He's ready to slap it off somebody's face. Oh, look at
That's JJ Smith right there. You're going to want to check him out. He is awesome. That was from the Fatal 4-Way match. That's for members only, but it's on the Battlefield page right now. You might want to go check it out.
Certainly going to take advantage of this situation here. No,
this is Vinny Mac.
Vinny Mac. No!
Vinny put Terry down!
Look at this super kick.
Oh, what a kick to the... My God, did you see that kick to the chin of RJ Carnage?
That's what that nosy bastard RJ Carnage gets.
He's gonna get the win like this.
Oh, the kick out! What the hell is going on here?
Unbelievable by Terry Adonis, but he's gonna pay them. Oh my God!
See, and I love that aggressiveness from Vinny Mac right there. He didn't hold up. Terry kicked out. Boom. Right on top of him. YouTube page, Battlefield. Check it out. A lot of good content on there. September 29th, we're bringing you the Battlefield Rumble live from the Signature Events Center. If you're anywhere in the area, you can pick up tickets or watch some of the matches on the YouTube page when they become available. Go to WrestlingWithSavage.com to pick up my latest merch. Got 3 different brands. We got Savage Mania because we're taking over WrestleMania in Vegas. You got Wrestling with Savage, and you got the Slade and Savage collection. So, like I said, WrestlingWithSavage.com to check out all the merchandise. Go to Google, check out Prince Nana Coffee, use coupon code SAVAGE, save yourself 10%. On September 28th, you can meet DDP at the Wrestling Universe, brought to you by Savage Kingdom Promotions. Tickets are on sale now at thewrestlingunivers.com. What were we talking about? We finished WWE. I guess let's do a little breaking news, huh? A little break. All right, Jojo Offerman advocates for Bray Wyatt to be into the Hall of Fame in 2025. Oscar commits to new long-term contract with the WWE. The Undertaker open to being in the Hall of Fame again for the Brothers of Destruction. We'll see if that happens. Joe Tessitore admits he wasn't great on commentary. I actually liked his voice. I thought he did a good job for his first time. Jojo Offerman suffered panic attacks after the Wyatt 6 WWE debut. I'm sure a lot of people suffered panic attacks after that first appearance with the Murder and Gorilla. Odyssey Jones fired from the WWE domestic abuse claims. I have no idea if it's true. I haven't seen any evidence, just claims, just a Twitter. It's funny how all this stuff always comes out after they make it to the main roster. WWE planning star-studded show for SmackDown's USA Network return. So like I said, next week on USA, expect every episode of WWE to be on fire. Ricochet feels that Triple H left the door open for a WWE comeback. I can certainly see that. Fox allegedly dissatisfied with Vince McMahon's WWE SmackDown booking decisions. And guess what? They're not alone. The fans hated the last 2-3 years of Vince. That's obvious from what we've seen. And Nikki Bella seeking divorce lawyer following another domestic violence incident with Artem. I can't even say this guy's last name, but whoever the hell she was married to, she's getting a divorce. So anybody out there that wants a piece of Nikki, give her a few months and then hey, try some luck, man. Maybe you'll have more luck than some other people that I know who tried twin magic in the house. But what are we here for besides that? We're here for WWE. So we had NXT No Mercy coming at you live. Chase U picking up the win. No. They took the L. They lost their titles, and we'll talk about what happened there. And we have Wentz defeating Wes Lee. Here's some shots from the action. Good show. No Mercy was a really good show. Kalani Jordan defeated Wendy Chu. Oba Femi defeated Tony D'Angelo. That was a really fun match. I enjoyed that match. If you missed that match, definitely go back and watch that. These two, kind of like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre right now. I could watch it again and again. Roxanne Perez defended her title against Jada Parker. She was able to retain her title. Ethan Page retained his title in a very controversial way. A lot of craziness in that match. The main event was definitely the match of the night. We'll talk about her later tonight on NXT. But yeah, she made her arrival there. Julia. There's Joe Hendry about to do the damn thing with Ethan Page. And like I said, this is the match. This is why I have the highlights for this match, because this was match of the night. This was a good main event. This was good, fun wrestling. And even the finish was good. They set it up good. Trick Williams did a phenomenal job as special guest referee. So at this point, I'm starting to think, is there anything this guy can't do? He's coming together really well. What a superstar. What a talent. I expect to see Trick Williams on the main roster sooner than later. Joe Hendry, tremendous show out here on his first WWE main event, NXT main event. But nonetheless, it's a No Mercy. So a big moment for Joe Hendry. Great match, good times, good results. I mean, Trick Williams calling it down the middle, calling out that leg being under the rope. I loved it. I love that accidental shove. He didn't mean to do that, but just great storytelling here. And Trick still even though he got shoved, he's still up. He's still counting. He didn't care, man. Well, that wasn't him, but he got back in the ring. He did his job. After all the bullshit, he got back in the ring. He counted the 1, 2, 3 for Ethan Page. Ethan Page was loving this too. He was loving getting his hand raised by Trick Williams. And how couldn't you be in love with that? You took the title from the guy and now you're making him raise your hand. But that wouldn't be the end for Trick Williams that night, because he got attacked by Pete Dunne, and that would be the underlying theme the entire night tonight on NXT. The show would start off with Trick and Ethan Page in the ring having a little chit chat, and that would get quickly interrupted by Pete Dunne, who was back in the ring and just beating the hell out of Trick Williams. And we would see this throughout the night. You'd see a lot of things. You'd see backstage segments like you always do before matches like this for the number one contenders. And the Rascals are your new number one contenders on NXT. Well-deserved. Great night of action here for these gentlemen. They did a good job. They had a little moment in the back talking to the NXT Tag Team Champions, saying they're going to win those titles and take them to TNA. Very interested. Here we are, the Trick Williams, Pete Dunne show back on live. They're beating the hell out of each other. We move on to Ora Mensah taking a loss to Lexis King. Happy to see Lexis picking up a win, but it's against a loser like Ora Mensah, so I don't know how serious I can take it. But Lexis King cheated. Good for you. Do what you got to do. Get those wins. Oba Femi wants more of Tony D'Angelo. Instead, Tony sent Stacks his way, and we would see them compete in a match later that night. Gallus having some words with a no-quarter catch crew. Everybody's trying to get a piece of that Heritage Cup. Rosemary would take on Tatum Paxley, and Tatum Paxley got the win, and she also got a beating. I mean, she got beat down. She got the win, but Wendy Chu and Rosemary beating the hell out of her. And who would make the save? I mean, Lyra, didn't you have like a order of protection against this woman or something? But now you're saving her? Anyway, that's your NXT right there, the comeback. Now we have Sarah Schreiber interviewing Pete Dunne, saying he's getting ready for this match, and then that would lead to them fighting again. Ava Raine had to get involved, said, you know what? We can't wait for the main event. You guys need to get your ass in the ring right now. This match is starting right now. Ethan's letting Ava know you're losing control of this entire place, which I don't think is true. Some shots from No Mercy they were showing us on NXT. They did a great job. They filled an NXT. They filled the whole arena. More people there than people give them credit for, man. And great show. Great pay-per-view. And they're doing it with NXT stars. It's nice to see. It's very nice to see. Big news here. Breaking news. Jordan Grace came on NXT and said next week, live on the USA Network, you're going to watch Jordan Grace come on down and put the NXT fans on their butts because people would be there to want to see this. Jordan Grace is putting up that TNA knockout title live next week on NXT, open challenger. Let me know in the chat who you think it's going to be. Let me know in the comments who you think it's going to be. Now we get this match that would lead to a double countout. We wouldn't even get a winner because the stupid referee, and everybody was very upset with this referee. He gave us the double countout, which you rarely see. Pete Dunne, Trick Williams beating the crap out of each other. Ethan Page, he's enjoying it. He's loving it backstage. This was a great match all the way up until the nonsense happened, and the security had to come in, and they couldn't even keep these guys apart. We move on to the betrayal, what happened between Rich Holland and Andre Chase. Rich Holland turning on Chase U. He cut a promo saying, now you're going to see the side of Ridge that I've been trying to hide, and I'm going to destroy everything that is Chase U. He's tearing apart Chase U, guys. Rich Holland losing his mind on NXT. Brooke Jensen with Sean Spears. Sean Spears trying to get in the mind of Brooks Jensen, saying, thank you for helping me. Thank you. Trying to manipulate him, trying to get in his brain, because we all know Brooks Jensen, not the sharpest knife in the drawer. So Sean trying to expose that, trying to work on that. We get a pop-up match between Javon Evans and Joe Coffey. Javon, Mr. Bounty, would make quick work of Joe Coffey on NXT Live tonight. Ava would have some words with Sarah, and she'd be announcing some more matches later in the night. Oba Femi about to have his match with Stax, and Stax tried, all right? He really did. He put up a fight, but Oba Femi's Oba Femi. And when Oba Femi just starts throwing you around the ring like a rag doll, that means the match is going to be over real soon, dog. And that's exactly what happened here. Launching him like a rag dog, power bombing him. Oba Femi, your winner tonight. Get a little stare down with Tony D'Angelo, who looked very upset, very disappointed in Stax. And we have the Adonis over here, Adonis the God, or whatever he's calling himself. He's trying to mack it to these ladies with a rose. And Mr. Guy that doesn't need 100 girls over here, he comes over, Eddie Thorpe, the DJ, and blocks. I'm not going to say the first word, but you know what I mean. He blocks that play. Adonis trying to mack it to these ladies. Eddie Thorpe not having it. Not having it. I don't like that. And we had this guy over here, Javon Evans now. He's talking in the back to one of my favorites, Ren Sinclair. And he worked his way into her heart, and she gave him an opportunity at that Heritage Cup live next week. Obviously, Charlie Dempsey not happy with that. And we have Fatal Influence over here. They're coming to the ring right now. They're going to have a match. Jasmine Nix is taking on Jada Parker. And then Jada Parker would get her ass beat. She would win the match, but she would get the shit kicked out of her. And nobody came to help her, okay? Nobody, not even her friends, nothing. She was on the floor by herself, getting beat down. We find out that next week on NXT, we're going to have Trick Williams versus Pete Dunne in a last man standing match. Ridge Holland is going to take on Duke Hudson. That's going to be a good match. NXT Heritage Cup match. Charlie Dempsey versus Javon Evans. Another great match. And the NXT Tag Team Championships are on the line. Can the Rascals become first-time NXT champions? Duke Hudson says he's still processing everything. That's going to be a good match. Some good storytelling there over the last year. You see the women's roster right there. Fatal Influence doing everything they can to upset the balance in that roster. Kalani Jordan's not having it. She's saying you're not going to come back here and make a mess of things. We're the best in the world because of what we do in the ring, not because of the bullshit you do back here. Now, the NXT Women's Champion, the successful and powerful and popular Roxanne Perez in the ring, and she would be interrupted by probably the greatest female star after Rhea Ripley. All right, Chelsea Green would be back on NXT, and this was great to see. I loved this. This was great. And then Julia. Everybody loves Julia. I can't wait to see Julia wrestle. Is she really so fucking good? Somebody tell me in the chat what you think of Julia. Julia. Is she good? I don't know. I've seen highlights, I've seen clips a little bit, never seen a full match, never met her. Looking forward to seeing what she's going to do with the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez, who did not look impressed. But Julia, the fans were happy. They were hyped. Chelsea Green got in her face. By the way, the cracks that Chelsea Green made on Roxanne Perez, calling her the micro champion, killing it. That was hilarious. By the way, Chelsea Green again cheered in the NXT Performance Center, but Julia wasn't having it. Made quick work of her, looking good on her first night on NXT TV. She, after No Mercy. Stare down. I guess we're going to get this matchup probably in October. They're going to hype it up. Julia says, no, I think on the CW, because NXT is going to be on the CW network soon. And I guess when they come on the CW, that's when we're getting this match. Very interesting. Good night, though, overall. Good night of professional wrestling. Great week for pro wrestling. Monday Night Raw, probably the best show of the week. And I'm going to attribute that straight to the CM Punk Drew McIntyre business that they did. That was great business for all to see and watch and take in and enjoy. It's been a fun week, man. Bash in Berlin was good. You had NXT No Mercy. Now tomorrow we have AEW coming up. So tomorrow night, the AEW weekly update live 10:30 p.m. after Dynamite. Come on through. We'll talk about AEW, Jungle Boy taking on Bryan Danielson, and my girl over there, Mariah May, just taking over the whole world of professional wrestling. And on Thursday, the Savage Storm Super Wrestling Show, where we will really get into everything, break things down for you, and have a good time doing it. My name is Savage. This is Wrestling with Savage, and I'm glad you're here. Like, share, subscribe, let all your friends know about this channel and what we do every single week to try to bring you the entire week of WWE in under an hour. We did it in under 42 minutes. And here's another message for that piece of shit Crowbar. Slade, listen, it looks like we're out of wine. We finished this one. Hey, come here. Take this. Take this, please. Bring me another one quickly. All right, like I was telling you earlier, we have serious business. October 19th at Battle in the Borough. Crowbar, a former WCW. Thank you. About time. Crowbar, a former WCW legend. Your career ends October 19th. Compliments of Spencer Slade.